You are listening to MINDSHOCK. This is your host, Bruce McGuire, in one of the most long-awaited exposés with receipts. Coincidence theorist trigger warning. This has been one of the most triggering conspiracies that coincidence theorists have been cope spiraling and melting down over for over a decade, pretending and hallucinating there couldn't be any evidence that's legitimate at all regarding bad people doing bad things. I don't know why, but coincidence theorists seem to have severe mental disabilities in not comprehending that there's evil people out there and they don't always act alone. Shocking. Mind shock. I mean, who would have thunk it that criminals can't act alone? That just they can act alone. They can't act alone or they can act alone? Like, as if both scenarios can't be true. Some criminals act alone, some don't. Ain't rocket science, but for coincidence theorists, for authority worshipping cultist bootlickers, it's a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far. But as always, in typical mind shock fashion, we will be going over receipts, irrefutable, documented evidence that even the most devout coincidence theorists in the post-Epstein era might have some trouble with, maybe, if they have functioning brains, possibly. As always, we'll be going over all of this and more in typical mind shock fashion with logic and reason at the forefront, attempting not to fall for any logical fallacies, unlike pretty much everything else out there. If you want to help support the podcast, you can do it to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case, topic, logical analysis, podcast, or request. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. Or if you were with us here live, drop them in the live chat. I'll try to get to all of them. You can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube. Help support the channel that way. Welcome, Flat Bob. AC97. Flat Bob says, they're all sick and twisted people. Anyone who can't see the obvious has been blinded by the god of this world. Are you talking about, what are you talking about exactly? Are you referencing the earth being Satan's domain? AC97 says, Jeff's gotta have his jerky. Well, I want to go over the timeline here. I want to go over the timeline because for over a decade now, the mainstream media has been maintaining that this was all some wacky, crazy, right-wing conspiracy theory. Actually, before we even get into that, let's get into the track record of the government and conspiracy theorists, aka critical thinkers, aka those that are corruption aware. So before we even get into this, like, a lot of goofs hallucinate. I don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome or what's going on here, but a lot of coincidence theorist goofs hallucinate that the government would never do anything bad. And you know what's weird? There's a contingent of these goofs who actually do have the mental capacity to understand MK Ultra, Tuskegee, the poisoning of St. Louis. That's a big one nobody talks about. I'm going to do a whole podcast on that one. Operation Mockingbird, of course, Northwoods, all of these things that were either planned and executed or simply planned and not executed. Like, the level of goofery required to hallucinate that the government, the American government, has never and would never do bad things. I mean, that's just insanity. That's just insanity. And so, but there's a certain percentage, and I don't know if this group is even dumber, that says, oh yeah, the government definitely did bad things in the past, but they would never do it now. And you saw this type of goofery all through the 90s, the 2000s with 9/11, with the incident in Connecticut, even with the Boston Marathon bombing, all of these things, 9/11, like, a lot of these goofs fully acknowledge that the government in the past would definitely do evil things and has, but the people in the government now, they're just magically immune from corruption. They're magically immune. So therefore, none of the new, the old conspiracy theories, maybe those were true, but none of the new ones are true. And this is the level of gophery that is modern coincidence theorist bootlegging. So just on the surface, if you know somebody who's a liar that lies about everything, I mean, yeah, maybe they're telling the truth the next time, but why would you just believe them on default? Again, even basic logic aside, let's pretend you don't even know what logic is. Let's talk about preschool level street smarts. Like, let's just do that. Just preschool level street smarts. So during recess, if a kid is always stealing your toy or playing a trick on you where they pretend to give you a toy and then pull it away, are you magically going to believe they're not going to pull it away the next time? I mean, this is the mental capacity or lack thereof. We're dealing with coincidence theorists. So whenever there's a supposedly wacky, crazy new conspiracy theories from these right-wingers or whoever, like, you would be more accurate to just assume they're correct statistically. Now, that is fallacious. You shouldn't do that. But just on the balance of probabilities, you'd be correct more often than not. That's what's funny about all this. And this is like preschool level. These are preschool level logical concepts here. So if somebody's always lying, are you going to assume they're telling the truth the next time? I mean, maybe they are, and they might be. You should definitely, like, examine for evidence if you're being logical. But would your default standard position be, okay, they always lied about everything all the time, but now they're telling the truth. So when... So they've denied every single conspiracy theory that has since been proven true, but this next denial is legitimate. They're definitely innocent this time. I mean, wow. The gophery is just stratospheric with coincidence theorists. All right. Bridget Martini says, great topic. Let's get right down to the cancer. Let there be light, L-I-T-E. That's a cool name. Satan, quote, all these things I will give you if you fall down and do an act of worship to me, end quote. Billy Labadie, hi Bruce, buddy, keep doing what you do, brother, as always. Logic and reason at the forefront here. Let there be light says, Jesus, quote, get behind me, end quote. AC97 says, so many people are brainwashed into living a normal life when nothing is normal about reality. Yeah, that's called the normalcy bias. But the normalcy isn't even legitimate, so it's a hallucinatory bias on top of that. Flat Bat Dad, that's a good name. Hey Bruce, thanks for all you do for the pursuit of logic and reasoning. Yep. Chin Chin, sour cream type beat. Chin Chin, where have you been, Chin Chin? Haven't seen Chin Chin in a while. So, now that we've laid the groundwork of the history, now how jam-packed is the Alex Jones jar was right? Alex Jones was right jar. How jam-packed is this jar? Let's just do another quick trip down memory lane with Alex Jones, and then we'll examine the chronology of Pizzagate. If YouTube allows. It'll come to no surprise that this stream might be highly messed with, kind of like the Cappy stream that got shut down. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So let's look at Alex Jones' prediction just real quick, just to establish a track record for Jones here. And then we'll get into the chronology of Pizzagate. 1990 started his one. I think this might be from the early 2000s. So he started his the final edition show on KJFK 98.9 FM radio, where he's talking about conspiracy theories, etc. In 1996, he started that show. So he started InfoWars website in 1999, which also had videos there. So, again, exact date here. I don't know if it's 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, but this is clearly a relatively old video. And obviously, nothing of what he said has come true or is accurate in any way. But let's listen to it so we can see how wrong he is and how crazy he is.
Facts and common sense are in. Yes, there have been corrupt empires. Yes, they manipulate. Yes, there are secret societies. Yes, there have been oligarchies throughout history. And yes, today in 2002, there is a tyrannical organization calling itself the New World Order, pushing for worldwide government, a cashless society, open borders, total and complete tyranny, where human beings are absolutely worthless. There's 6.25+ billion of us, and the globalists have said it many times. There's too many of us. We're causing a problem. We need to be culled at the tune of 80%. It's amazing to talk about that, but it's the globalists, the UN, their own public statements, and they've convinced a lot of liberals and elitist conservatives and others that by going along with this, that we're intelligent members of society. It's the ultimate Malthus world view. It is this radical, virulent form of social Darwinism. It's the excuse of tyrants. And by creating open borders where there's no national sovereignty and only global bodies that control all the resources, by centralizing and socializing health care, the state becomes God, basically, when it comes to your health. And then by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get shoved into their system.
So obviously all of that completely false from the... And this is from an old clip of mine. If you can't tell, because I got a lot of hate comments for this one. People couldn't tell that I was being sarcastic, even though I was putting the receipts literally on the screen here. They're on the screen, people. And I got a ton of... I even got people saying, unsubscribed, how dare you? How dare you blaspheme against Jones? When have I ever blasphemed against Alex Jones? Alex Jones is the greatest thespian of all time. I mean, look at the thespianism on display here. But this isn't what this podcast is about. So for those that don't know, like, spoiler, I'm being just a tad sarcastic here. This lunatic.
To build a new world order.
A new world order. A new world order. A new world order. New world order. A new world order. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
That I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
A new order of the ages.
A new world order.
But of the global order of a new world order. World order. But what does the new world order mean in this new world order? It is a new world order.
I think a new world order is emerging.
And we are in the midst of one of the historic global transformations that is going to eventually lead to a new world order.
And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
We need a great reset. We can build a new social contract, global order.
Is to actually...
I know I didn't leave that on the screen for too long, but yes, Joe Biden wrote an article here, published in the Wall Street Journal, Thursday, April 23rd, 1992, titled, How I Learned to Love the New World Order. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, people. I mean, the coincidence theorists, I mean, how much coincidences are coincidence theorists able to ignore? Possibly limitless. I'll get to the chat as soon as I finish this clip. A lot of people saying a lot of interesting things, including the one and only Dave Bagotka. If you haven't checked out his interview here on MINDSHOCK, he brought the receipts, typical MINDSHOCK style, to back up everything he said from the Stephen Avery case and otherwise.
Is to actually create a new world order.
A new world order.
And now is a time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order.
There's a need for a new world order. There's a need for a new world order.
So, yeah, I mean, clearly, there's no group ever referring to themselves as the New World Order. They've never done that before. It's not going on now. I mean, he's definitely on some kind of drugs.
New world order. A new world order. New world order. New world order. A new world order.
New world order.
New world order.
World order. New world order. New world order.
New world order.
A new world order.
Order.
A new world order.
A new world order.
A new world order.
There's a need for a new world order.
He's clearly lying about all of this. There would never be any kind of power grabs or depopulation agendas through any kind of diseases. I mean, that's just outlandish. I mean, there would never be any lockdowns or anything like that, or any kind of death stemming from such, or any kind of emergency treatments that could be highly dangerous. I mean, there would obviously, I mean, this guy is such a loon. I mean, even back in 2002, everything he was saying was completely wrong, and clearly none of it has come true. Now let's take a look at a clip from 2017. So we went 2 decades back. Now let's go half a decade back, 5 years ago. Has his accuracy improved? And let's look at his professionalism. I mean, say what you will about him being a completely wrong and a liar about everything. He was relatively professional back in this clip from 2002. I mean, relatively professional in his presentation and demeanor. Now let's take a look at, so that's how it started and how it's going in 2017. Now let's take a look.
All this is a societal wrecking ball to destroy any semblance of normality, any semblance of basic human biology that you see in the bees and you see in the birds. Imagine if somebody in a demon outfit showed up next to a baby giraffe and said, "Hi, I'm a demon. Be inclusive. Don't be mean to me. Let me wear demon horns and come up and look like a complete alien from another planet. Let a space alien." And by the way, this is a program. They dress up like space aliens all over the United States and all over the world. I told you, in horrible demon psychopath outfits that make Pennywise look beautiful. And they show up and they have their way with your children in demon outfits. I mean, if you've got men that look like 400-pound goblin demons with your children, there's nothing you won't put up with. There isn't a species on the planet that would let something that looks like a space alien get up close to its kids, but only in America does it happen, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it right now. I can't handle it more.
What a complete loon. Clearly, there's nothing like this going on in public, going on in schools. I mean, what was Alex Jones smoking in 2017 for him to think that anything like this could ever happen? I mean, it's 20... Yeah, Flat Bob, people actually did think I was serious here, despite the receipts on the screen here. I mean, come on. New York City schools spent over $200,000 of taxpayer money on drag queen shows at public schools. So this article's New York Post 2022. Alex Jones is ranting about this in 2017. 22 now, clearly he was completely wrong and lying about that also, and also his professionalism dropped. I mean, he's just screaming like a loon now over these things that were clearly never true. They're clearly not true now, and they will clearly never happen. I mean, this guy is a complete lying buffoon. He's always wrong about everything. I mean, is there a single thing he's been right about yet? I mean, this guy is like a master of always being wrong about everything. I mean, how does he have any followers? Why would anybody visit? I mean, I laid it on pretty thick there, but hey. The whole baby organ harvesting thing was pretty crazy. Government-funded, Washington Free Beacon. Government-funded researchers sought aborted minorities for organ harvesting. DJHJ Media, aborted babies for organ harvesting leads to be true and government-funded. Not only is it true, it's government-funded. That's insane. That's insane. Fox News, millions in federal money followed to tissue bank that collected fetal hearts, gonads, legs, brain report. University of Pittsburgh said it complies with rigorous regulatory and ethical oversight. Newsweek, I mean, this is all over the place. The microchips, obviously, Alex Jones talking about that many, many years ago. So, yeah, interesting.
The InfoWars website. Why would anybody watch his horrible show where it's just lies upon lies upon lies and conspiracy theory, quackery, and paranoia about things that have never happened, clearly aren't happening now, and will definitely never ever happen in the future? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Can any of the MindShock listeners out there explain this guy's appeal? I mean, they were right to censor this guy. I mean, if all he does is spew these lies, all these things that have never happened, aren't happening now, and will never be happening in the future, clearly he needs to be deplatformed and censored, because liars who are always wrong about everything should not have a right to speak publicly. I mean, who can disagree with that? Any MindShock listener?
Yeah, is it possible for me to have laid it on even thicker than that? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, now that we've established Alex Jones's track record here, let's get into the history. So Pizzagate, and obviously Alex Jones, one of the first to break the Epstein story as well. If not the first. I'm not actually 100% sure. But he was one of the first, or at least with a big platform. So let's look here at Alex Jones. Let's go all the way back. I don't know if we have a year here when he's breaking Pizzagate. Obviously, he also talked about adrenochrome, like all these things. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed. Can anybody think of a more accurate news host than Alex Jones? Just saying. Actually, let me catch up on some of these, some of the comments here. All right. Welcome, Christopher Allen. Yeah, Flat Bob, the NASA patches. Was that the first time MindShock got shut down? AC97 says, where do we go from here? I feel like nothing will happen till SHTF. I think we might be past the point of no return here. I think, I'll go over that in the end. Ask that again in the end, because I kind of want to go in order here. Bagatka says, AG of Wisconsin that was in on the framing of Stephen Avery was appointed by Clinton, and the same Epstein expletive goes on there in Wisconsin. All the satanic pedo stuff. Yeah, and again, if you haven't listened to the Dave Bagatka interview on MindShock, check it out. Go over a lot of stuff, all with receipts. Dave says, Alex gone off the rails recently with the support of Trump. I don't know what's going on with Alex Jones recently. It's pretty wild. Chin Chin says, they have planned the New World Order for over a century. Albert Pike in Morals and Dogmas talk about it at length. It is the great work. Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know if I've re-uploaded the Albert Pike clips on this channel, but I will. Dave Bagatka says he stopped whining about getting shut down. I think he got taken over somehow. Anything's possible. I floated some theories where he was MK Ultra, and then he kind of found out about it, and then he flipped the script on his handlers and became a true patriot. And then who knows? Maybe he got compromised again after that. Chin Chin says, hunger strike by Temple of the Dog. Even talked about farming babies. It's not a new idea. That was 91. Well, that might have been one of the... Yeah, I don't know how much was predated that. QCZ says, when was that original video upload made? You mean the Alex Jones clip that I put together from my podcast? I don't know. Was that 1 or 2 years ago? Something there? 1, 2, 3 years ago? Okay, so let's get to Jones. This is 2016, people. This clip is from 2016.
This story that's been the biggest thing on the internet for several weeks, Pizzagate as it's called, is a rabbit hole that is horrifying to go down. Now, if you're a radio listener, this is a powerful video, but I've had it reposted because, again, he finished it, I guess, on Wednesday. It went out Thursday on the Nightly News that was taped the day before. This is on Infowars.com. Pizzagate is real. The only question is, what exactly is it? Because I'd said, man, I hope this is drug dealing code word or something, or, you know, maybe they got the wrong manual because this is the FBI says this is pedophilia manuals. These are the terms they use. And then here's the New York Times. Fake news onslaught targets pizzeria as nest of child traffickers. Hey, I don't know why the pizzeria and the one down the street have symbols in the FBI dossier. I don't know why there's devil worship art on the walls. I don't know why it's connected to Bethesda. I don't know why they got rock singers there talking about, you know, being, you know, going after kids or whatever. This is what's going on, though.
And I just want to add here, too, for those that don't know, fake news appears, that term, so conspiracy theorists was invented by the government to try to downplay any questioning of the JFK assassination. Look at this. Look at this term, fake news, becoming a search term right with Pizzagate. Now, isn't this a coincidence here? I mean, look at this coincidence there. Look at, like, what do coincidence theorists say about this? Is this the fake news psyop? I know Trump took it over after, but look at this is interesting. Look at this spike here. I mean, this is an interesting spike coinciding with the spike of Pizzagate. And then look at the huge spike of Pizzagate comeback with fake news. See, these are the questions everybody should be asking, because immediately mainstream media was all over Pizzagate calling it fake. Like, how would they know? Like, if they were legitimate news outlets, wouldn't they say, well, there's no evidence, like, we don't have evidence yet, but to flat out call it false? Like, how would they know it was false? If that doesn't raise an eyebrow, I mean, you might be mentally disabled. I mean, look at this. All the media immediately saying fake news story led man to shoot inside restaurant, etc. And we'll go over that as well. But all of the news outlets immediately calling it fake without actually doing any investigation. Now, it's one thing to call outlandish theories. Yeah, sure, that's fine. It might seem outlandish. Doesn't mean it's not true. Like, there's so many ways they could have chose to downplay it, but to flat out state it's fake, like, how would they know if it was real or fake? I mean, these are the questions a logical individual asks, and look at what happened here. Look at what happened with the search terms. So was fake news practically invented to psyop downplay this potentially very real conspiracy theory?
And so maybe it's just some genre they picked up. They don't know what they're involved in. I'm not accusing them of anything. It's not like they look like little piggy people or anything. Not like they fit all the cliches or anything when you go to the... Just like nice people to me. But the point is that this is tied into Podesta with thousands of emails with, we're going to have the 6-year-old, the 7-year-old, and 8-year-old in the hot tub for your entertainment out at the ranch house. They can be a little persnickety, but they are also willing and enjoy it.
Now, as sick as all this is, let's try to just, remain as objective here as possible and not... I know it's difficult to, this is so sick and sadistic. Like, I have to really just, turn off the emotions and let's just look at the data here. Now, since then, I mean, look at everything that has come out here in these emails, especially pause it and read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read any of this filth. But I'll put it on the screen for the receipts. I mean, look at this. What is this? I mean, it's going back 2015. I mean, these are kind of weird. Why would you, like, if you're friends with people, I don't care if you're billionaires or millionaires or broke people. Like, who emails each other about how good pizza was? I mean, look at this. Look at this. These are just completely sick. Just talking about, like, all the different, like, who emails like this? Again, I'm not going to read these, but they're on the screen here. So, yeah. There are about, I'll get the exact number too, or near exact. I mean, there's so many documents, but it looks like 900 references. Now, I defy anybody to go into their email right now and search the word pizza and see how many times it comes up. Like, yeah, I mean, if there's a pizza party, birthday, you know, whatever, maybe it might come up a couple times. 900 times? And not just come up, like, the sick stuff that's surround, like, they're gonna go in detail about how good the pizza was, like, all this stuff. Like, that's kind of weird. Like, how many coincidence theorists are trying to explain this? 900 reference. I mean, no, seriously, everybody, go into your email, search the word pizza, see how many times it comes up. And you're gonna go on and on about it? Like, what would a normal email look like? Oh, yeah, that was a cool pizza party or whatever. It was nice seeing so-and-so there. I haven't, like, you would talk about other stuff. You wouldn't be going on and on about the pizza. And this was released too. All the different code words that these criminals use. Walnut, hot dog, pizza, cheese, chicken or pasta, ice cream, sauce. Like this is really disgusting stuff. And the symbols and all this. It's kind of, you know, I can't spend too much time on that. But yeah, all of this is known. 900 references. And you got the fake stream media already declaring the theory fake as soon as it comes up. Like, there's no investigation done. They're just immediately declaring that it's fake. Yeah, chin chin, the way they spell certain words, like casting with 2 S's. Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's thousands of these. You're reading it going, what the hell is this? And you start reading it, there's thousands and thousands and thousands, and you know you're reading something real bad. Oh, I'll see you at the feast tonight. Oh, we'll have lots of blood and semen. Oh, good. And then they had, like, Time Magazine worshiping this high priestess the week after we exposed her about news, all this PR, like, oh, we'll show them. They're attacking our high priestesses. We'll just put them in the news better. Like, we're all upstanding and out in the open. And
Is he talking about Elon Musk's mother here? I don't know which satanic priestess that was.
Good people. Look, I've been careful about all this. This is Lawsuit City. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people. I know straight up devil worship when I see it and find quotes of her saying it's real when she does it privately, including her Ask Me Anything Reddit accounts. I mean, I know real Baphomet worship when I see it, but thousands of emails? I'm not ready to accuse these people of this. It's up to you to research it for yourself, but you got to go to Infowars.com and actually see the photos and videos inside these places. You've got to see their menus. You've got to see it all, ladies and gentlemen, and then you've got to see the FBI law enforcement manuals showing the code words that are used. And by the way, I didn't just believe this. I went to the FBI site. I went and looked it all up, and people ask, well, why weren't you on this earlier? We were on it from the beginning. We've been on it the last couple of weeks since the election, but we're fighting on hundreds of fronts here. Let's go ahead and go to the report. Pizzagate is real. The question is, how real is it? What is it? Something's going on. Something's being covered up. It needs to be investigated. To just call it fake news. These are real WikiLeaks. This is real stuff going on. Here it is.
A warning to viewers, the following images are disturbing. This all began after WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange released hundreds of thousands of secret documents detailing a backstabbing Clinton Foundation, but it now appears the real truth Assange was leading us to was hidden between the blurred lines of Hillary Clinton's campaign manager John Podesta's released emails. Fast forward past John Podesta's brother Tony's casual email exchange with thelemic spirit cooking adherent Marina Abramovic. The Rosetta Stone was needed next, a verification that high-level Washington, D.C. predatory pedophiles were using a code to communicate child sex trafficking as casually as ordering a pizza. An FBI unclassified document from WikiLeaks revealed symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences, to include those who sexually abuse children, as well as those who produce, distribute, and trade child pornography, are using various types of identification logos or symbols to recognize one another and distinguish their sexual preferences. Investigators should also be attentive to pedophilia symbols advertised on websites. During examinations of computer files, investigators should be conscious of subjects who try to conceal child pornography by labeling them with symbols instead of typical suggestive explicit names. Thus, the interest in code words. Now, clues. The menu from Comet Ping Pong. Notice the symbol of the ping pong paddles and its clever resemblance to the FBI document's symbol for child love. All right, hang on, New York Times. Before you declare this fake news from your ivory tower, now look at the symbol for Besta Pizza, just 2 doors down from Comet Ping Pong Pizza, boldly using the symbol for boy lover as was recorded on the unclassified FBI document. The evidence begins to reveal that Besta Pizza and Comet Ping Pong Pizza may be competing for the lucrative Washington, D.C. pedophile market.
Like, when you see that, how much of a coincidence theorist do you have to be when you see these symbols to just write them off as mere? Out of all of the infinite shapes and combinations and logos and styles, they just happen to look like that? I mean, that's kind of weird. Ryan says, I counted 7 pizza references, 2 from Pizza Hut, and then is this, are you talking about the notifications for this podcast? Or the other, are 3 of 7? Yeah, I just searched mine. It's showing up 50, and they're all from Maura Murray discussion updates on when Maura Murray ordered pizza in the door for that Maura Murray, the true crime case. So it was just, it was her. She basically used an allegedly stolen credit card to make pizza orders in her dorm room. This is a college student. So discussion about that. And then that's all I got in my. I don't even have promotions. You guys are getting promotions for pizza. I don't even get promotions. So yeah, I don't think it's normal to have 900 personal emails with ongoing discussion about all that. That's weird. Not to mention all this other weird stuff.
Right out in the open. Comet Ping Pong owner James Alefantis needs to explain himself, and so he did, via the Hillary Clinton colluding New York Times. But so many questions remain unanswered. Why was this said by the band Heavy Breathing performing in Comet Ping Pong?
He likes the world sounds. Tamales.
And little boys.
And children. I think I was his manager.
No.
We all have preferences.
How sick and satanic is this video? AC97 says, is it a rule for them to be so dumb and obvious with all the emails and code words just for it to be more of a mockery? Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could also be they just assume that all their emails are encrypted because they're billionaires or whatever. I don't know, and they have some kind of security. Oldest Youngin in Guidepost says, Podesta Brothers art is also an eye-opener. Yeah, you want to see another eye opener? Okay, before let's go in order here, but yeah. That is such a satanic laugh.
Why is the artwork adorning Comet Ping Pong's walls at the very least so insanely creepy, especially for a family restaurant? Why is Alephantis so close to Tony Podesta as revealed in the WikiLeaks emails? And why does Mr. Podesta collect questionable artwork specializing in grotesque eroticism and pedophilic images, not to mention Podesta's dabbling in what appears to be cannibalistic rituals while continuing his old friendship with convicted pedophile Dennis Hastert? Why is this man wearing an I Love Children shirt in this situation? Why did you write #murder next to this incredibly creepy photo you posted? Why do you find it amusing that this baby is for sale? Why do you associate with this artist? Why is any of this okay? And if these code words are eventually proven to be just another method of communication, then why did the Podesta emails mention the code word pasta for either little boy or sex 78 times? Code word cheese for little girl 85 times. And what does Podesta's friend Herb mean by this statement from a Podesta email? P.S. Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than on pasta? According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the FBI, 460,699 children went missing in 2015 that we know of. Mr. Alephantis, this isn't a witch hunt, and it isn't an attack from fake news that your boyfriend David Brock, founder of Media Matters, would have us all ignore. Either you are the unlucky victim of a fake news onslaught due to your own poorly initiated publicity, or a decades-old pedophile ring operating in the power-hoarding shadows of Washington, D.C. is about to be opened from your front door. John Bound for Infowars.com.
Trump won. Hillary stole 5 states, was ordered to stand down by the intelligence agencies, or everything else is going to come out on this. If you're a radio listener, you're lucky you didn't actually see the...
Whoa, that was kind of quick. Did Alex Jones just say that Hillary was ordered to stand down, or all of this would be publicly released? That's interesting. 2016. Is that... I don't know what's going on there. So let's look at this. Who's seen the EFITs in the abduction of Madeleine McCann? What do the coincidence theorists think about this one? I mean, John is dead on, but Tony, you could argue Tony looks slightly different. But look at John. It perhaps looks like a photograph. Who's ready for another mind shock for those that haven't seen this image? This is Madeleine McCann's father. And Tony Podesta. These are the EFITs of men wanted in the abduction of Madeleine McCann. So did people see the Podestas during the McCann abduction? And yeah, they're all wearing red shoes. I mean, this level of coincidence theorism is insane. And also, there was also Ghislaine Maxwell was the woman who was spotted with Madeleine McCann. I don't know how this was in another location a certain period of time later. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I really don't know how coincidence theorists explain all of this. I mean, how do coincidence theorists explain all of this? This 4A this was when Ghislaine Maxwell had short hair. The image reference 4A. There's another one that's a bit better, like a colorized one. But yeah, you gotta ask the question, like, how many of these high-profile cases are connected? Are they some kind of rituals? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Video, the art they tweet and Facebook is of children being murdered, cut in pieces, and raped by men with giant genitalia. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, those are the actual Po-Po sketches. Yeah, I go over it in the Madeline McCann podcast. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I cover all of that. AC97 says, I think her parents sold her some Rosemary's Baby explode. You know what's kind of crazy? It might be like the Jean-Benet Ramsey case, too. There could be a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know if they necessarily told their wives, right? If these high-powered men in high-powered positions in Illuminati circles are doing some kind of ritual abuse and they have to make sacrifices or whatever, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm 100% convinced the wives would have known. I mean, I don't know. I would think it would be harder for the mother to do it, but who knows? I mean, I don't know.
But that's what they're pushing. It's what they got hanging up in there, and it's what they're doing. And I can't go out there and investigate it myself. We've had reporters on that have been there. They say it's really creepy because...
Fair use. Alex Jones using these popular songs in these background.
I don't have the self-control to be around these type of people. So... You want us to cover Pizzagate? We have covered it. We are covering it. And all I know is God help us. We're in the hands of pure evil. We'll be right back.
That's one way of putting it, Mr. Jones. But this is what real journalism looks like. You don't just automatically assume it's fake. Here's the update from Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 million plus Epstein files that just got released Friday are devastating. We've been reviewing them. It's got the smoking gun of human trafficking, sex slavery, torture, you name it. We're about to break it down right now.
Fair use for that jingle. Still fair use? Well, yep, still fair use. Still fair use.
It is Sunday, February 1st, 2026. And I have had time to scan through much of the 3 million files and look at all the great research of human researchers and AI scanning of the files. And it is massive. It is so devastating. All right. Now, most of the media and a lot of leftist activists are trying to focus on Trump and the few things that are there. And we'll look at it. We'll look at all of it. But this is bigger than Donald Trump. This is confirmed Epstein emails with top Democrats and scientists and others literally saying we're having a pizza party. We got one piece of pizza for 7 people. We may bring more pizza. And now they're glowing and empowering and how great this pizza is going to be and the types of pizza it is. Okay? This is very similar to what is in the WikiLeaks documents that came out in 2016 that were confirmed to be John Podesta.
I mean, just the amount of receipts Alex Jones has provided, like how, the Alex Jones's right jar exploded, like how long ago? Like there's no more room in it. There's just no more room.
Upstate New York at a secluded farm with a hot tub and pool and the 7-9-year-old kids delivered for his pleasure and the Aleister Crowley rituals. That's all real. And this stuff is even crazier. They're talking about torturing people. They're talking about the benefits of transgenderism to sexualize children. And they can't deny it. It's even hitting mainstream news. It is absolutely incredible.
And again, another shout out to the OG conspiracy theorist, even predating Bill Cooper, Serge Monast, the Canadian conspiracy theorist who actually blew the whistle, even on the trans agenda, Operation Bluebeam, all of this stuff. If you haven't checked out the MINDSHOCK podcast on Serge Monast, check him out.
We're about to break it down right now. Now, obviously, the globalist system, the intelligence agencies that have been running all of this, and that's also come out in this and previous data, Mossad, CIA, MI6, and others, they're going to try to spin this and make it all about Trump. If Trump was implicated in this Aleister Crowley stuff and the sex magic and the pedophilia, I'd be all over his ass. But that's not what's here. It's all Democrats. It's brokerage firm heads. It's billionaire Wall Street titans. It's the heads of Harvard and the head scientists at Harvard and the head biological evolutionary scientist. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I posted on X dozens and dozens of these emails, and there's just more and more and more. All how this is a transhumanist death cult that seeks to basically destroy society. And if we will hurt our children, if we will make them a currency of evil, then we'll do anything. So I noticed as soon as this stuff came out Friday, I started covering it and talked about Bill Gates and diseases for underage girls and trying to drug his wife, secretly with antibiotics because he thought he'd gotten her disease. People are like, why aren't you covering Trump? Why aren't you covering Trump? All the stuff in there is Jane Does that were disproven to be false, all the rest of it. He was never at the island. The victims all said they never saw Trump except at Mar-a-Lago, one of them, and that he was nice. So Trump's problem is he got convinced of the new administration to try to shut it down. But you notice Trump came out last night and said, now that I've learned this came out, I'm glad I'm exonerated. No crap.
Mr. President, what did you think of the latest release of Epstein files, and do you think your critics will be satisfied with?
Well, they should be, because it looked like this guy Wolf, who's a writer, was conspiring with Epstein to do harm to me. And I didn't see it myself, but I was told by some very important people that not only does it absolve me, it's the opposite of what people were hoping, the radical left. That Wolf, who's a third-rate writer, was conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to hurt me, politically or otherwise, and that came through loud and clear. So we'll probably sue Wolf on that.
But he was told for national security, cover it up. So that makes him guilty by extension of being part of this. And that's pissed a bunch of Republicans off that I'm telling the truth. But I called this a year ago from my sources and the rest of it. I've been covering this really before anybody. So you got one camp saying I'm covering up for Trump, another camp, saying that just leave the Democrats alone. It's about the facts, folks. You have the Podestas, you have the Clintons, you have Bill Gates, you have all these Harvard heads and all these other university heads up to their eyeballs at pizza parties with the single slices of pizza and things being delivered, and you have the FBI manuals where this is all the key code words they use that's also in the WikiLeaks. I mean, think about the magnitude of the stuff you're reading on screen. And go to Real Alex Jones and read it, or go to the actual data file that the DOJ released that we've linked to the DOJ at Real Alex Jones on X and Infowars.com. I mean, it is incredible. So listen, this is bigger than Donald Trump. Go after Donald Trump. You can find something great. I don't have a dog in that fight. Okay? And I said Trump mishandled all this. But you have the Democrats caught red-handed. And anybody saying you're covering up for Trump when we post these documents that are real is literally aiding and abetting these people. So I'm sick of the whole system. I'm the guy that coined the term false left-right paradigm. With Trump, he was more of a rebel. We had a chance to challenge that, and you see him come after him. He's far from perfect. But the whole world doesn't revolve around Donald Trump. So those of you saying don't look at this every time I post this stuff that's real, they don't challenge it. They just say don't post, you're covering up for Trump. Bullshit. If I find anything with Trump in substance, I will go after him instantly, and everybody knows that. All right? Also in the files are all these letters to Robert Trivers, the top evolutionary theorist biologist in the world, hands down. And Epstein talking about how great this is, again, to train us if we'll accept turning boys into girls and girls into boys, which is even real. It's like South Park. You can't become a dolphin even if you think so, have a fake dolphin fin put on you. That now people will accept designer babies, human cloning, everything, which I told you 25 years ago was the plan because it's in the Tavistock Institute MI6 documents. That's how I knew back in 2009 they're going to release a virus, have 6 feet apart. It will accept turning boys into girls and girls into boys, which is even real. It's like South Park. You can't become a dolphin even if you think so, have a fake dolphin fin put on you. That now people will accept designer babies, human cloning, everything, which I told you 25 years ago was the plan because it's in the Tavistock Institute MI6 documents.
So here's Jones And Jones was also one of the first to talk about Tavistock, and I actually covered a little bit of that on how even Mustache Man from Germany was connected, his banker connected to Tavistock, and he had a British handler as well. I'll be getting into that more as well. But all of this being connected, I mean, this, like, the amount of coincidence theorists cope to just shrug your shoulders and say, mainstream narrative's still good enough. Mainstream narrative's still true, despite all of this. I mean, the gophery. The gophery. I mean, it's just insane.
That's how I knew back in 2009 they're going to release a virus, have 6 feet apart, give you a vaccine that raises your immune system, because it was in different UN documents in the Rockefeller plan as well, the next year, Operation Lockstep. So I've known all this. I've exposed it before this stuff came out about Epstein being into cloning and having hundreds of babies himself. I said all that. Peter Nygaard got convicted of all this. He was heavily involved with Epstein as well. So now we need to say, okay, the public forced the release of these documents. We put pressure on Trump, pressure on Congress. It got released, 3+ million documents, hundreds of thousands of images, 2,000 videos. Now we need prosecutions. Now we need to beat the drum to prosecute everybody involved. And that means a hell of a lot of Democrats. So the media has tried to spin this. Trump stepped right into the trap of going along with the cover-up because they convinced him it was an attack on him. Now he's like, wow, see, this vindicates me. I'm going to sue the author, Wolf, who is in the emails saying, yeah, we know Trump's innocent, and Epstein saying he's innocent. So how do we cook something up to get him? But see, Trump has bad advisors, people that are...
Yeah, I don't want to just go all this with Trump, but...
all this confirmed stuff with sex slavery, it covers up for Trump. No, it doesn't. You are covering up for the pedophile.
Will continue.
A whole bunch of heads.
Okay, so, yeah, that's Jones' coverage. Again, the Alex Jones's right jar has exploded from capacity how many years ago now? I mean, it's insane. For